So today I'm going to show you how I would go about frosting a cake with buttercream, and it's really simple, it's really easy, and now that I have my new Cricut Cake machine, it's a really nice way to create a blank canvas to decorate. So right here I have two vanilla chiffon cakes, and I'm just going to go ahead and put them on a 10-inch cake round, and I've protected the cake round with little pieces of parchment paper that I'm just going to pull out when I'm done icing this cake. And so to start with, I'm going to make what we would call a dam, and this is just a barrier if you're going to fill this cake, and I'm going to. So I'm just going to pipe around a buttercream right on top of my first cake. And just put that right down there. I'm done with that. And right here I have some delicious lemon curd, and I don't really like lemons, but the person I'm making this cake for loves lemons, so I thought what a great filling. And you really don't need much filling when you're putting something in the cake. You really don't want the cake shifting or anything, so maybe start with, I don't know, a scant quarter of a cup and just spread that all over. And if you need more, you definitely want to be able to taste the flavoring, but you don't want the cakes really to have too much slickness to move around on when you're icing. So go ahead and just spread out your lemon curd all around the cake, and then you're done with that. And then you take your next cake, and this is the top and this is the bottom. So because I really want a nice flat top, I'm going to flip it over and just put it right down, right on top of the cake, just like that. And next I'm just going to take some of this blue buttercream and do what we would call a crumb coat. And I'm just going to do that by just dropping some on. You don't need very much for a crumb coat. And this is just the first layer of icing, and it captures all the crumbs, and you chill it and it hardens, and then you go around and frost it again finally. So just spread out your icing, and you will see the cake through this, so don't worry about that. This is also a really good time to make sure your cake is at, not at an angle, that it's straight up. So just go down and look at it from eye level. Make sure that you don't need to nudge it over a little bit. And that's always why you have a cloth, so just take your fingers and clean them if you need to. But there, that's much better. And then it's a really good idea to have a separate bowl to put icing in that may be contaminated with crumbs, because crumbs are your enemy here and you don't want them to be on the cake, on the outside. It just makes it look really amateur, and you don't want that. So just go ahead and remove any excess frosting. You don't want a lot of frosting on the crumb coat. See, crumbs. And it's also a really good idea, I should mention this, to have a turntable. And you can have a metal one, you can have a plastic one, which is much less expensive, but it's really a great tool if you're thinking about decorating cakes, many cakes. I would invest in a turntable. They're only $40 to $70, so it's a good thing to have. Alright, so we're done. It's all crumb coated, and I'm just going to go ahead and put this in the fridge, and make sure you have gone and arranged your refrigerator so that you have room for something like this in it. You don't want to be scrambling. So anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and put this right in the fridge for about 10 minutes and just let it harden, and I'll be right back. So it's been about 10 minutes since I put that in the fridge, and I'm all ready to go for the next and final layer. And I should point out that I've already tinted my buttercream the color that I want, and it's blue, just so you're not wondering if your eyes are playing tricks on you. But you should make sure and have your buttercream whatever color you want it to be at this point, because now we're going to do the final coating. So I'm just going to take some, and I like to start at the top and just put a good amount, because how I like to do it is put a lot on and then shave it off slowly. So I'm just going to go ahead and put quite a bit on top, and then I'm just going to take an offset spatula. And offset spatulas come in many different sizes. Here's two different ones, a small and a large. And then I've also got a straight edge spatula, and then a serrated knife, just in case you need to trim the cake, but we didn't have to. So, but it's a good idea just to kind of know what those things are. So just take your buttercream and spread it to the very edge, overhanging a little bit. And if you find that you need more, go ahead and put some on. Okay, so the buttercream is all the way over and it's hanging over the edge on all of the cake. And now I'm going to go ahead and start doing the sides. And to do that, I'm just going to bring the buttercream a little bit closer to me so I don't have to go for it as much. Just take some with your spatula, and little by little, just work it onto the edges. And like I said, even for the edges, if you can put more on, that's better, because you'll see how we fix it in the next step. So just go ahead and put it all on. Okay, so now that you've gone around the entire cake and the whole thing has buttercream on it, now you go and you clean it up with something called a bench scraper. And this is how you get those clean, smooth, beautiful edges. And you just hold it against the cake and you just kind of slowly drag it and pull. And any excess that you get, just put it right into your crumble. So just spin the cake around and check it periodically. Just make sure that you are working towards a nice smooth cake on the outside. And this little piece of parchment is giving me some trouble. So I'll just pull it. Now, see this? I accidentally went and took a little too much off, so go ahead and just put some right back on. And you know when you start seeing the cake through the icing that you are getting a nice thin layer and you're almost done smoothing. So I'm just going to smooth this part out. Make sure the cake is hidden. And see, I also need a little bit of buttercream right down there. So go ahead and put some on. Alright, and really I could spin this cake around all day, but sooner or later you have to stop yourself. And so then you take either a long offset spatula or a straight edge spatula, and what you do, I like the straight edge spatula myself. You just go at an angle and just pull the icing straight across the top, and this will create a really beautiful edge. So it's kind of scary at first, but you see it really does work and create a nice, smooth, beautiful top. And remember, you put a lot of buttercream on the top so you can really shave it off here. And if you see any imperfections or anything, now is the time to get them out. Like right here I see a little bit of food coloring that looks like it didn't get mixed in, so I'm just going to scoop it out and get rid of it, because you don't want anybody to have, in this case, a blue mouth when they eat this cake. And I think we're done, and it looks pretty good. So here you go. This is a nice blank canvas to decorate, and what you can do is chill this and go ahead and pull away the parchment paper strips after it's done chilled. And I would also go around and just release the cake, you know, by running a small offset spatula underneath the cake and on top of the parchment, just like this, just to release. And I think even now I will be able to pull these off. And there you go. Your cake is all ready and good to go. So just remember to chill this in the refrigerator for about 10 minutes before you do whatever you're going to do with this. So anyways, here you go. And I hope this helps you out. I'm going to go put it in the fridge.